Hello everyone, this is Chris Jamel at Exciton Interactive, and in this video we are going to go over the code that's used to create the sort of web page that we used to display in the previous video the differences between the original images and the optimized images. And so it's a bit more interesting than in the previous previous video, which was just all user interface. At least in this video we have to read files from the server to find out their sizes and do the calculations to come up with these percentages and such. So I thought it was a little bit more interesting and worth a video of its own, and that's what we are going to see today. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started here. So what I have open here is basically the code behind and the Razor page for our optimizing images page. And what I need to start with is creating a couple helper classes here. Normally we'd have them in separate files, but to make my life easier, we are just going to include them in the bottom here. So I'm going to create a class and I'm going to call it image. And image is going to start off by getting some properties pasted in to make life again easier, and we'll create a constructor here. So what I'm expecting for it to have in the image is a file info object, so system.io, a bool telling me if this is an original or a long, which is the original length. We're going to default that to 1 because we're going to do some dividing. In case I missed it or something, we won't get a division by 0. So the first thing that we're going to do is to create an extension, which is just file.extension. Just keeps me from doing file.extension all over the place. So length is equal to file.length. Name with extension is equal to file.name. And now there's some properties that derive from the previous ones. So we'll have name without extension is going to be equal to name with extension, except we are going to replace the extension with string.empty. And next up is our reduction percentage. So what's the reduction in size between the original and the optimized version? So if it is original, we're going to say that string.empty is what we want. Otherwise, what we're going to do is 1 minus the length divided by, we're going to cast that to float, original length, and we're going to do dot to string, and we'll use percentage for it. So now we have the reduction percentage. Come down here and say if is original. What we want the label to say is equal to original, and source is going to be equal to what I copy and paste into this thing, and I've copied and pasted nothing. So the source, if it's an original, we'll have images, optimizing images, and then a folder called originals, and then we'll have that image. Else, let's come down here, let's switch on the extension. So we will have a case where that extension is .jpeg, cases in this case, and we want the label to be equal to mozjpeg. So basically, what is the plugin that we use to optimize it? In the next case, we'll have, that's not right, .png. So label, we're going to use opti.png. Case webp. Label conveniently webp. Default, spell it right. Label is equal to the extension, just in case, so I can see what I messed up. break. And the last thing that we need, just copy it in. It's a source, so it's up one level instead of being in the images or the originals. It's up one level. And there we go. That is what we're going to use representing our image. We do need one other class here, and public class image collection. Alright, image collection. We need to have a private read-only image, which is the original. Take a constructor. I will expect you to give me a file info. What I call it, info. That way I can make the original. So we'll have original equals new image. We pass in the info. It is original. And we do need a property. We're looking for two properties, so let's just copy them. Need a shortcut for just creating get properties. Need the generic collections. We'll have images equals to new image. Doesn't need to be empty because we can put in the original. Perfect. And what do we want? The type. That's info.extension.replace. Oops, I just want to take out the period. We'll just put string.empty. Quit complaining at me. String.empty. While we're at it, we'll just two-upper everything. Perfect. So now we're going to start image collections. We'll start always with at least the original inside. And we need a way to add the optimized ones. Public void. Stick with the naming convention. In this case, we need a iQueryable file info. Let's say images. Infos sounds silly. So images.addRange. So we're going to take in our images, but we'll cast them using select to an image. And in that case, it's not original, but we have the original and we can pass in the length. So there's our image collection. Back up to our actual onGet method. So we need a constructor here, and we want the iHosting environment. Perfect. Get a read-only field for that. And next up, we have a prop, which is a list of image collections, and I called it images. And we only need a getter because we're going to come up and say images new. Perfect. So now we're on get. So we need to find out what files we have in which folders here. So we'll say originals, and that's equal to directory, and we're going to enumerate files just so I don't typo this. So we have, again, images, optimizing images, originals. Probably we should have this as a variable. We don't have to copy and paste it. And then we have the environment to give us the web root path so that we can put it all together to tell us where the original images, stop beeping at me, original images are. What we're going to do then is cast that into, or project, I guess, file info. And we're going to go over this more than once, so we need to not use an IEnumerable. Optimized equals directory dot enumerate files. Surprise, surprise. Probably still have it copied. It's there, except it's not in the originals. It's up one. Do our projection. File info, and at this point we're going to do as queryable. Perfect. So now we want to go over the originals, so we'll do for each originals contemplating to myself, do I actually really need the 2 array cast? Because I did this a couple of different ways originally. We aren't enumerating twice. We'll just get rid of that 2 array there. Our images, watch, it'll come up here in a minute. That'll be the reason why I did it in the first place. So we need the original info, which is what we're iterating over, and to make things fit on screen better without, so we have the info name without extension, which is equal to path dot get file name without extension info.name. Alright, and next up are filtered optimized, which is equal the optimized, where we say where path.getInfo without extension, so the optimized one with that name, if that's equal to, and info name without extension. So what we have is the original, some name .png, .jpeg. The optimized versions will have the same name .jpeg, .webp. So we're looking to find out which ones have the same name in the optimized area. So those go with the original. So we have them. We can say images.addRange filtered optimized. So now we have them sort of in our one-dimensional array there. And we put those images.add, and that creates basically our two-dimensional array. Okay, so I think that takes care of the server side of things. We'll save it. And of course, we need to update the actual page to take a look at things. So let's start by putting a div. We'll do a style. Font size, 32 pixels. Everything inside of there that deals with a text is going to be in EM, so that'll scale it up. And we'll do for each. It's actually be about double the size originally. So images collection in model.images. So now we have the collection. Create an H2 here. That will be images collection dot type, right? Yeah. And next up is why it doesn't want to format right. So div. Again, I don't want to make a separate style sheet for this, so display flex. So let's put a containing div around things, and we need a label. And we'll use label. Helps if I actually do what I'm supposed to do. So for whatever, nope, come out of there. We need a for each here. At for each for image in images collection dot images. Now we have an image. So we have an image. Image dot label. We'll do image dot reduction percentage, and to break things up, pair of parentheses and image dot size. Last but not least is the actual show of the image here, and that's just located at image dot source. Perfect. Won't be bad. We'll get rid of the alt. Tells me I need it. So now if we go back and take a look here, we can see that we have messed something up. So let's check. So it's all working. At least we're showing the images, showing the right labels, percentages, but we are missing the size. So why are we missing the size? Probably because I did not set it somewhere. Is it still underlined? It is underlined. It helps if you pay attention. Alright, so size, I just set it right here underneath the reduction. So let's do size, and that's going to be equal to a template string. Inside of there we have the length. We're going to divide that by 1000. Spelling monster strikes again. 1000 KB. Save that. Give it a chance to compile things. Go back, refresh, and now we have our sizes being displayed and the percentages. So that is, we take care of reading the files from the disk and getting the information that we needed in order to display it. And that takes care of it for this video. And as usual, if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. As well as the fact that I forgot to mention at the start that, as usual, you can find the code and in an article for this video. There's a link in the description below. Again, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you later. Thank you for taking the time to watch our video. I know that your time is valuable. If you liked the video, please subscribe to our channel and click the thumbs up button, as well as share the video with your friends. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please leave them in the comments section below. And once again, thank you, and I will talk to you in the next video.